about classes? Well, I've consulted my oar. It is time to answer.
The scriptures.
As we visit the
Tome.
tome, first we have the barbarian. A barbarian is someone who is strong in the body and wields large weapons. One you might know is Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan the Barbarian. Also, Drax from that one movie. He's like a barbarian. Barbarians have this ability to rage, and then they do more damage, and they take more damage as well. Barbarian's a great melee damage dealing class, and they're usually at the front of the party. Now, we move on. The next class you will find in my tome is Bard. Now, a Bard is someone that is enamored with the arts, and they play music to inspire others, and they lift the spirits. And one you might know is Jack Black in the movie School of Rock. Bard is a little bit more of a support class, but they have great all-rounders, more supporting spells. But here's another picture of a Bard, by the way. He's got a lute. It's a halfling Bard. More support-based class. In this, you have magic as a Bard. Now, something you might not know, Bard is not only music. A Bard can also be someone that is good at lying, someone that is good at talking their way out of a situation. A silver-tongued fool. Here's Saul Goodman is like a Bard, because he's good at talking. Now, the next class we move on to is Cleric. Now, a Cleric is a religious person that uses the power of their god to heal others and to bring good faith. So here's a picture of a Cleric. It's pretty standard. Clerics are mainly healers. They're the main healers of Dungeons and Dragons, but Clerics can also be deadly, because the highest damage dealing class is the Tempest Cleric. It does a lot of damage. Here we have a picture of what that might look like. Sort of low tier god. Here he's got electricity coming off him because he's a Tempest Cleric, right? And so I don't want you guys to get scared away from playing a Cleric, because it's like, oh, I don't want to play this religious person. Well, it's not. It can be fun, and it's not only healing. There's good damage in there as well. So also a support class. Next up we have Druid. Now, a Druid is someone that has a strong connection to nature, a strong cultural bond with the nature, and a strong spirituality with animals. And here are example. Animorph. Druids, they all have the ability to turn into animals. Druid is, again, like one that has magic. As the last few Druids have magic, and they have a lot of plant-based magic. Druid is a good mix of damage and support, but again, a magic-based class. Next up, we have Fighter. A Fighter is someone that uses weapons and armor, and here's our example. Is like a cool knight, epic knight. Here we have, and a Fighter. It's not just a knight. It can also be like a samurai, but just anyone. only half of a star on. This is a game on Steam. It only has 1/2 out of 5 stars. But besides the point, a Fighter. Now you may feel like this, why would I pick a Fighter if I can cast magic or something? Well, Fighters, they get a lot of turns in combat, and also they can take more damage. So you're going to be at the front of combat. You're going to be at the front of the party. It's a melee-based class. You hardly ever have any magic as a Fighter. Next up, we have a Monk. A monk is someone, again, like a melee class, but it also has a bit of its own sort of magic in it as well. So our example of a monk is Bruce Lee. Here he's got some nunchucks with him. We know Bruce Lee, and he's cool. So you like more of a kung fu type of fist fighting. Monks usually don't have armor on them. You go to like a monastery, maybe shave your head. It's pretty cool. The next class we have is paladin. Now, a paladin is sort of like a knight that also believes in God, so they do like God damage, and they also do have a bit of healing, and they also can take a lot of damage as well. So, paladin is like the most well-rounded class. They have a bit of magic, they have like a bit like good attack, and they have good defense as well. Here we have a picture we found on DeviantArt of Jesus Christ in armor. It's really cool. So that's what a paladin is to help you get it's Jesus. He's got here it says the holy word of God. So obviously you wouldn't be using Jesus as your God. You'd use some fantasy god.
You can use Jesus.
I don't know. Next up we have ranger. A ranger is again someone that has like a natural connection to like a forest or something. But it's less magical. This is more of someone that like maybe is like a forest guard or does like a patrol in the forest. Here we have a picture of Link from Legend of Zelda. I think it's a really funny picture. He's got a bow. And also we have this picture of Robin. It's Robin Hood there he is, Robin Hood. He's got his bow and his little his cap and his feather. So that's a ranger. Next up we have rogue, a sneaky little stealthy class. They do a lot of fast damage, and they try to sneak around. They like to lie, but they also don't have a ton of health. So we have our example. Like you might know, like a ninja is like really sneaky. So someone that's fast and sneaky and like that. Okay. Now, following the rogue, we have a sorcerer. Now, sorcerer is someone that does magic, but they're born already having their powers. They wake up as a baby and they got magic already. So I'm not like a nerd or anything, but we got like My Hero Academia, except no Deku, but like I wouldn't even know, but like I don't like watch anime, but yeah, no Deku in here because he's not born with powers, but yeah, so they're kind of like sorcerers.
And they only do they don't really do melee.
Sorcerer again, yeah. These last few are mainly magic based classes. They're ranged. Next up we have warlock. Now a warlock is someone that gets their powers from some sort of entity, like a demon or something that you've made a pact with, or maybe you have like a cursed sword that talks to you, and the sword does like magic. So maybe you have like a magic item or something, but so here's like something that you could get your magic from is like a goo, or maybe like an imp. Now you could like get magic from these things, and that's a warlock. Finally, we have wizard. Everyone knows what a wizard is. There it is. So that's an explanation of all the classes. Now, I must be off.